Hello everyone and welcome to my video. 3 companies I think will do very well in the future due to the increasing need for Western countries to become independent from international sources. This video will be talking about lithium, nickel and uranium. So let's go right into it. Why lithium though? Lithium, according to Straight Research based and brandviewresearch.com, lithium has between 17 and 18% cargo between 2025 and 2033. Nice. And lithium is mostly used to make batteries and used in like EVs and so. And that's why I'm personally interested in it, because no one's really talking about it. Everyone's talking about gold. Bear in mind, I am very interested in gold companies, but like Western nations, due to electrical innovation and so forth, they need more batteries, and for that you need lithium, cobalt and nickel and so forth. And the West needs to be independent, so then I think this is one of the major ones. American Lithium Corp. It's a long time, like several years before it's going to go into production. Anyway, now let's talk about the company. Why on earth should you care? According to the website, they have a measured and indicated 5.3 million tons of lithium equivalent. And it says here with initial life of mine, and it would have a 40-year mine life, would be $6.4 billion and produce 38,000 tons. So it would have a 3.2 billion net present value and 3.8 year payback time. Lithium is mostly used in rechargeable batteries in phones, laptops, cameras and like everything electronic. You know, it's not going to stop. Like, you know, it's just going to get more intense. You know, the more technology, the more energy they need, the more batteries and so forth. And obviously, you know, unless there's like a complete reset and people go back to cave, then we have other things to worry about if that happens. Anyway, let's go to the second company of the list. And the second company on the list is Canadian Nickel Corp. Now, why would you be interested in nickel? It seems like, according to Grand View Research, between 2023 and 2030, it has a CAGR of 5.2%. It seems due to its application in stainless steel, in plating, in batteries, and so forth. And one of the major growth areas are in EV batteries and growth in stainless steel production, which accounts for 65% of global nickel demand, according to straightresearch.com. The shift to electric mobility is the key driver for nickel market, with nickel-rich chemistries such as nickel, manganese, cobalt, and nickel, cobalt, aluminium dominating lithium-ion battery production due to nickel's high energy density. And now let's talk a bit about the company though. Like, why would you be interested? Anyway, what's interesting to me is that some of the key investors are Agnico Eagle at 11% of the company, Samsung SDE 8.7%, and Anglo American at 7.6% of the company. And they are advancing one of the largest nickel resources on the planet in Canada, and it's in a well-established mining jurisdiction with significant infrastructure in place. It has a bit more. There's like little to no, according to the website, there's like little to no supply outside of China or Indonesia, like in real supply. And if I remember correctly, they are also being assisted by the government of Canada to get this project up and running. And they have filed environment impact statement, completing second stage of federal process by fall of 2025, or autumn 2025, I should say. And there was an interesting thing they wrote here, that in 1973, the Persian Gulf had a 37% of the oil market, whereas now with the nickel market, Indonesia is 61%, which is interesting. So that would be a little bit of an issue if there was like a situation with Indonesia, you know, for the nickel market. But I think this would be sufficient for this one. And now let's go over to the third and final company on the list of companies the West needs. And now for the final of this video, which is uranium. Now, why on earth would you care about uranium? Now, according to my notes, there is apparently 440 nuclear reactors worldwide, with 65 under construction right now and 95 under permitting, which means enormous potential in the future for all the increased need for uranium as more and more reactors are operational. And according to worldnuclear.org, mines in 2022 supplied 58 tons of uranium oxide concentrate, which was 74% of that year's requirements, which means they had to use like inventory. And most of the need is due to, you know, nuclear reactors and so on. But I think it's going to have, it says a CAGR of 4.5% between 2024 and 2031. And now let's talk a little bit about the company that you're looking at right now, which is District Metals, which is a Swedish, it's not a Swedish, it's It's a Canadian company in Sweden with one of the largest. There we go. Found it. District Metals is a company in Sweden in a place. The deposit is called Viken deposit, which is the largest undeveloped uranium deposit on the planet. It has uranium. It has in inferred 1.5 billion pounds of uranium. In indicated they have 179. But do you know they have tremendous amount of resources and they have a lot of other things as well. They have 1.1 billion pounds of copper in inferred, I should add. Because inferred is basically like an educated guess, but bear in mind that it is a tremendous resource regardless. And let's mention a couple of others before we end the video, which is Energy Fuels, which is one of the few uranium mills in America, like mills for processing. And Uranium Energy, which is one up-and-coming uranium producer, or it is technically producing now, and it's very interesting. And NextGen, which when that starts producing in a couple of years, I think in the next 5 years, hopefully, allegedly, it might produce. And I think it was between 20 and 30 million pounds of uranium annually. Who knows? If I remember correctly from reading their presentation. But anyway, these are the companies that I perceive, based upon like trends and my own opinion, to be of interest to Western nations now and especially in the future if they want to become more independent. So anyway, I hope this has been tremendously useful. If you liked the video, like it and subscribe for more. Have a wonderful day. Peace.